common mistakes that you might make when you first start to airbrush. But the good news is, they're quick and easy fixes to keep you going. Let's look at a few. When we're new to airbrushing, we might get some spots when doing the foundation that we call hot spots. Or maybe when you apply it, you're like, it looks streaky or wet or splotchy. Well, I'm gonna show you how to fix that and how to avoid it. But first, let me take off my makeup so I can show you how to do it. So I have my foundation in the foundation well. I'm turning my system on. When airbrushing, keep it 4 finger widths away. We want to keep the stylus moving. But let's say wasn't paying attention and you spray too much and ooh, look how wet and sticky and ugh, that looks, right? If that did happen and you got a hot spot, tap it out. Just tap it out. That's all you have to do, and you can continue doing your foundation. Now, one thing you can do beforehand is practice. Practice with just the air. When you turn on your system, you feel the air from the airbrush. Work on keeping it 4 finger widths away and moving around your face. No makeup is being released, but at least I'm getting this motion down. At least you're getting that practice. It'll become so easy, you won't even have to think about it. Think of the air as your bristles. Next step would be to put water in here and airbrush water on your face. If you can airbrush water on your face and it's not dripping and running down your face, then you have a better idea of how to airbrush. Another great way to practice is get a paper towel, fold it up, put some foundation in there and airbrush the paper towel. If you can get that color to show up gradually, you have a better idea. If it shows up like that, you know you're pulling back too hard on that trigger. Barely pull back on that trigger and practice. What you're going through is normal for most people because you're used to traditional makeup up until this point. Now you're not gonna touch your face. Now you're blowing this nice cool air on your face, so it might take a little bit of practice. But don't worry, you will get it down in no time. Now, do you think you have the wrong foundation shade or are you spraying too hard? Sometimes when you first start out, you're putting makeup on like traditional makeup. Of course, that's what you know up until this point. So remember when airbrushing, you're going to hold it 4 finger widths away. You're gonna keep that stylus moving around the face and barely pull back on that trigger. I want you to question whether or not the makeup's even coming out. It should never feel wet or sticky. Airbrush makeup is very forgiving. It goes on in light passes. You'll never be in one spot twice, but there will be overlap. Keep that stylus moving around the face for a flawless application. Are you having some problems with the blush? Is it too much for you? Well, guess what? Our blush, it is super high pigmented. So when applying it, shake it up, put your 2 drops in, aiming at your cheeks. I know where it's going because that's where the air is. Make my movement and then pull back on the trigger. That will help avoid any hot spots with the blush. Then go to the next cheek. If you did your blush too much, it's okay. You don't have to wipe it off. All you do is airbrush your foundation right over it to blend it out. See? Wasn't that easy? One question that we get a lot is, do I need to clean the foundation well in between products? So if you're moving from foundation to blush, blush to eyebrows, what you want to do is do what we like to call a blowout. You can take a tissue, a paper towel, whatever makeup is left. If I was doing my blush, I can blow that blush out and add the foundation next. Now, if you're going from eyebrows to foundation, you might want to take a second and just run some water through it to run it clean before adding the foundation. But for the most part, you don't have to clean it in between each product. Just make sure you do clean it at the end by running water through the foundation well until it runs clean, and then occasionally using the Tip Top cleaner. Have you used our root and brow? If you haven't, you're missing out. Now let's say when doing the eyebrow, you hold your stencil up and you do the first part, and when you pull away, maybe you have a little bit of overspray. It is very easy to fix that, and let me show you how. I'm gonna start right here, starting my airbrush of the front part. Oh no, what am I going to do? You can get a Q-tip, just tap it out. bam, fixed. You don't have to worry about it. You can just go along that line to tweak that line. Maybe the tail got a little long. I can shorten it that way and just tweak the eye with a Q-tip. You know, that's what I love about Luminous, is there's no stress when airbrushing. Everything has a very quick fix. Whether you're tapping it out, fixing it with a Q-tip, or even going over with your foundation, you'll never have to start completely over. You can correct it and keep going for your amazing application. Now, if you think you need more help, we have small group classes and we also have one-on-ones that you can book. So schedule and book that now by clicking that link below.